Saturday, something I never really expected to be doing on a Saturday, but I got a job through the CX. So the job is from Blythe, which is very close to me, probably 10 minutes away, and it is going into Scotland. Quite a distance in Scotland, but I think, is it Peterhead? So right at the top. So it's 270 mile, I think it was, and I quoted 350. And I mean, he did ring us and he says, "Oh, like, are you still interested?" And I said, "Yep." And I always explain. I know people shouldn't have to explain why they're quoting so much or whatever. Obviously, if they're ringing you, they're obviously happy with it. But I like to stay in touch, and I basically said to him, "Look, the reason I quoted what I quoted is because there's probably not going to be a return back, is there? So that's why I've done what I've done. Obviously, hopefully, I can get the rest of the apps on when I'm closer to Scotland, and then see if there's anything coming back. It doesn't have to come all the way back down to Newcastle. It could basically, it could go to little like Edinburgh and things like that, so I'm a bit closer to home. So yeah, let's get this done, dusted. Saturday, starting the week with a really good week. What I am morning, ready for today. You're joining us on a Wednesday. Oh, and what we're doing today. So it's currently 9:30. We are travelling to our collection point, which is going down to TQ4, which is just above and then right from Plymouth. So it's going to be a good old journey. I think it's about 7 hours driving. It's a direct delivery, so I can't come off the path. 370 something mile, and it's with Royal Mail, and they offered me, well, said it's worth 300 quid. Bit of a shame. I don't think it should be 300. I think it should be more, but again, you just get what you're given when it comes to Royal Mail and things like that. So what have I been doing this week? Because obviously we're on Wednesday. I think the last time you see me might have been Saturday, so I have no idea. Sunday, I think I done a little bit of gopuff, maybe, we'll see. I need to double check that. Monday came, obviously I got ready for work, and then Brent from Half Logistics dropped us a message and basically said, like, obviously he was in Newcastle that day, wanted to meet up for a coffee and have a chat, which we did. Met him on Monday, stayed for a chat for a couple, I think it was like two and a half hours, and what's weird is it wasn't awkward. So normally when you meet someone new and you organise a meetup or something like that, like it can be very awkward or very like, oh, I don't know what to say, I don't know. But I don't know, like with Brent it's just kind of clicked. I feel like we've got the same mindset when it comes to business and when it comes to obviously what people want for the future. So yeah, it was a nice conversation to have, to be honest. Obviously I explained like my story, and said a couple of questions what he had for me, obviously why I'm trying to do my HGV, etc, etc. And I basically told him my backstory, which is something that he had even said, like, why don't you tell YouTube? And I didn't even think about it. I thought, you know what, like maybe I should tell you my backstory and where I started. So fresh out of school, I wasn't academically, I wasn't smart at all, like on paper. I can't do things on paper, and this is what struggles when it comes to like questions and things like that. It's like I don't read the question correctly, so that's where I struggle. So when it came to me being 16, I basically spoke with Mum. She had said, look, like, we've got a choice. You can either stay in school, carry on with your education, or you can go to work. Like, these are your options. Which one do you want? And I just chose work. I just looked like, I want to go out, I want to make money, and make money for myself, and then I want to make money to help the family. So went and started at McDonald's, 16 years old. Obviously a very easy job to kind of get, especially at 16, unless you want to go an apprenticeship. But again, apprenticeships kind of mean college and things like that, and I wasn't interested, just didn't want to do it. So yeah, I went to McDonald's and I worked there until I was 21. After that, I just potted around with a few different jobs. Then the jobs I've done is so stupid. Like, you think of a job I've probably done it, like receptionist at a hotel, like working at Morrison's on the checkout, working at Morrison's, pushing trolleys. And this is one of the amazing things that I'd realised. So when I was in school, because I struggled on paper, like all my practical side of things I was good at, but because I struggled on paper, I would use that, I would say, embarrassment for myself and I would lash out. So I would be a little bastard in school, basically, just taking the piss, just being dead disruptive, everything. And then one of my teachers, obviously she had just got sick of us in the school, and then she had said, look, you're going to go nowhere. You're going to be pushing trolleys around Morrison's for the rest of your life. And that never, it never sat, and it never resonated with us or whatever, or resonated. So it never really sat with us. Never used to, until I started pushing trolleys around Morrison's, and I thought, fuck, she was right. She was actually right. I'm going to amount to nothing. So after that, says, right, no problem. I'm not having this, blah blah blah. I ended up quitting Morrison's. Found a new few jobs for and in between. Ended up becoming a taxi driver, just to get on the road. Obviously I love driving, so got on the road, became a taxi driver, and yeah, saved up money. Started my own company, which was a sunbed shop. So I started that in my local area. After I started that one, we ran that shop for 2 years successfully. Then we opened a second one, and we started creating a chain of sunbed shops, which was an amazing time in my life. Then obviously with the 2 shops, it kind of got a little bit stressful, and a bit on top of me and my partner. So what we ended up doing was giving someone else the opportunity to start their business, which I bring my family in first. So I brought my brother in and his partner, and I basically said to them, look, this is how much I want for the shop. And I mean, it was, buying a business, right, is not cheap at all. And I give it to them for such a stupid rate. I can't even believe this when I say it in my own head. I'm still not going to indulge, but when I say it in my head, I think, you absolute potato, why did you do that? But yeah, so I give them the opportunity basically to start afresh, and them to start their own business. We concentrated on one shop, which was the bigger shop, obviously the better money shop. We concentrated on that for another 4 years. Obviously during all of this time, me and my partner are trying for a family, and then it just got, again, stressful. It's a lot of hours to do, it's a lot of things that can go wrong, and we decided to sell that shop. So obviously we sat down, put it up for sale, and then said to each other, oh, we're sure? Yes. Bang, post. And then we ended up selling the end of September last year. So we haven't had the shop for a year now. Obviously during that time of having the shop, I got bored. I was gaming for a few years, so I started gaming on Twitch. Then I moved to a platform called Mixer. I got partnered on Mixer, so it means I got paid to play games. A dream job. After I got partnered, I'd done that for, I think it was 3, 4, 5 months, and then Mixer got bought by Facebook. So Facebook then came on and basically said, look, all the partners who are currently partnered with Mixer, we'll pay you to come and stream on Facebook. Stream your gameplay, have some fun, we'll make you automatic partners on our platform, and we will pay you to come across. So, okay, let's go try it. Done it for 90 days on Facebook, and you just didn't realise actually how toxic it was. So after, obviously, I gave up the gaming side of things, I then went to work. I went to work for a waste management company. Started at the bottom as a multi-skilled operative, and then from there, 3 months in, I got promoted to charge hand, and then about a year after that, I got promoted to a production manager. So obviously I'm running my own teams. Do you know what I mean? I'm literally in charge of over a £3 million machine. I'm in charge of it. I'm the one making sure that things are working and doing what they need to do. And then, yeah, a couple of months goes by, and then they announce that they are shutting our plant down. With no fault of our own, it was just the market. Obviously we're selling recycled plastic, but by the time, obviously, the cost of running it, labour, electric, obviously the machinery, breakdowns, things like that, it was actually cheaper for other companies to basically just buy new plastic before we could make profit. So I did get offered a job within the company. They did demote us, and I went there to the new plant for 4 days. I worked the 4 days, and I basically said, fuck this. I am not doing this shit. The way, like, our plant was a team. It was a small team, it was a family, and it was generally so, it just clicked, it worked so well. I had the team the way I wanted my team. I mean, I was standing manager for 6 months before I got promoted, so like I'd made that team perfect. And then you're walking into a team of people that aren't allowed to help each other, aren't allowed to talk to each other, like put your hand up to go to the toilet kind of thing, like nah, that ain't me. So I basically said, like, yeah, fuck this, gives me redundancy money, I'm going. And after all of that, this is where I am now. I have my own company doing, obviously, same day courier service, working on the CX, delivery app, Royal Mail, everything. So yeah, that's my background. It's a bit of a weird one, and it's a bit of a clusterfuck of a timescale, but it's my clusterfuck of a timescale, and that's what gives us the push to do this. Obviously, my next step, as I've always said, is going to be HGV, and the reason I'm doing that is because when I got made redundant, they basically said, if you want to do anything, because you're getting made redundant, the redundancy team will come in, you pick a course, and we'll pay for it for you. For free. You're going to pay for me to get my class 1 license, even if it just sits there. Happy days. I'll take that, no problem. So yeah, that's my next step. What do I think for the future? Personally, I have an idea, but you never know what's really going to happen. My goal is to carry on with what I'm doing, building up money now with the Courier exchange, take on more drivers, like maybe even my own drivers, not just people that I don't know, like maybe my own drivers, get my own customers, drive and work in the background for a bit until I make a decent enough amount of money. And once I pass my HGV, I will go and work for a company while all this is happening in the background. Obviously I won't be running it due to working time and like all of that bullshit. So obviously I won't be doing the back end of it, I'll ask my partner. And yeah, so I want to be able to, after I have everything saved up, put together, I want my own truck. I want my own truck. I want to go on the haulage exchange, and I want, hopefully if I have my own customers from the Courier exchange, hopefully some of them customers will end up like, or be big enough customers to say, well, I actually need a haulage driver, I need like an Arctic driver. So yeah, that's my story, and that's hopefully my future. And then my right end of the future is to be cremated. So that's the right end of it. But be cremated a happy person that I've tried in life. So I'm going to leave you there because I've got 4 minutes until the collection point. I need to be there for 10. It's now 22, so I'm going to get there 15 minutes early. Because it's a 7-hour drive, it is. I think they shut at 5 or 6, which is a pretty stupid thing to be picking up at 10 o'clock and then saying you got a 7-hour drive to go, because that's going to be hitting the limit very closely, especially with traffic and everything. So I'll be telling them, if it doesn't get there today, then that's your fault, not mine. Well, what a royal fuck up that is. So I am all the way down here. I'm going to insert a photo of exactly where I am. Ugh. Job was 300 quid from the Royal Mail, and what has happened, got all the way down here on time, may I add, actually about an hour early, but I've got all the way down here, and the guy isn't going to be available to take it until tomorrow. So yes, I could stay out, which is what I normally do, don't get us wrong, I generally could, but in my head I've been thinking, if I stay out, I'm going to get nothing for it. I'm going to deliver it for him in the morning, so I've told them that I'm not staying out and I wanted to be back home. So what would they do for us if I've got to bring a parcel back home for them? So they're going to double what they've given us. So what they've given us on the way down, they've given us on the way back up. So I've also done a city sprint job this morning. Where's my pen? So today, right, so I'm going to double that up. So Royal Mail return, so it was a 300 quid on the way down, now I'm getting 300 quid on the way back. And then city sprint, I done a quick job for them at £67. So I'm going to get home, and today means I've made £667. Now this isn't an everyday occurrence. People might go, oh, I'm definitely joining. This is not an everyday occurrence. This is probably going to be the first and maybe the last time it ever happens. So I wouldn't get too excited about it. I'm just putting cost you robbing bastard. £2.80 for a can of Monster, and I got 2. So I'm just putting obviously what I've spent down. So obviously I've had a McDonald's and everything today. I have just fueled up, and then I've just got some Monsters. So I've got a full tank, and that costs us £91.97. I'm just having a look at the pump there. So £91.97 fuel. What a day. What a day. So all in, I'm probably 100 quid like on expenditure to make 667. Now obviously I've spoke with the gentleman on the phone, and I basically said to him, like, look, if I can, as I'm going back home, yes it is currently 10 o'clock, as I'm going back home, if I can find a job elsewhere on another app to get us home, as long as they're happy and they know I've got to return this, if I find another job, are you okay with it? And you went, yeah, that's fine. So I've got my apps open. I am raring to go. Now let's just hope maybe I get a job on the way back home. That would be wicked. Absolutely wicked. I don't know if I did tell you, I probably forgot, but it is currently Wednesday. Sunday I didn't work. Monday, Tuesday I never worked. I just couldn't be asked, if I'm completely honest. So yeah, let's get out on the road. And reset that. Well, actually no, I'm not resetting it. Almost forgot, and I almost reset, but I'm not going to. So far I've actually done 1,100 mile. Right, obviously I've got this trip to get back home, so 1,100 mile, and I've made just over £1,000. So we're doing good. This is going to obviously knock me back down, which that's fine. I'm quite happy with. Obviously, if we get a job on the way home, then perfect. So I'm going to let yous go. I'm going to enjoy this lovely drive home, and then I shall see yous when I'm next at work. So I should be home around about 3-4 in the morning, depending on how many times I stop. And I'll be obviously going to bed for a bit, and then maybe having a bit of a late start tomorrow. So obviously, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Right, I'm buzzing. I actually am buzzing. Generally, it's happened, but again, it's a one in a lifetime thing. So at least I'm not traveling back empty. So I'll see yous on the next clip, which I've got hours to go, and you've got about 3 seconds. So enjoy. Morning, welcome to Friday. What am I doing today? What have I done yesterday? So yesterday I took the day off, obviously after that long old run down to basically Plymouth. It took it out of us, so I took yesterday off to recoup and get myself back to normal. Today we are in the car. We are just doing a couple of gopuff deliveries at the moment. We are chucking a couple of bids in. Thankfully, where I work on this delivery service is only 10 minutes away from my house, so I can bid on a few CX jobs that are maybe going a little bit distance. If I get them, then what it will be is I put an extra 10 minutes down on the ETA, and then I quickly drive home, get the van. I've got everything with us, everything prepared, so I just jump in the van and I'm away. So it's a bit of a bonus that I can use that. I really need to take this car for a car wash because it is minging. It has bird poop all over it. This car goes away tonight for its service. So full fresh oil filter, fuel filter, oil. So it's going to be a nice car when it's done. I'm trying to swindle my mate into keeping the car over the weekend. And I just said to him, like, look, you can use the car, that's fine, do the service on it, use it, but he used to valet a lot as well, so I'm really trying to get him to do like a machine polish on it and say like, oh well, just do the machine polish for lending the car, you know what I mean? So I'm going to see how that works and see if I can swindle a free polish. Fucking hope I can't, like. So yeah, it's going to be gopuff today, and then obviously the next clip, if I don't get anything from CX and don't end up in the van again, it is going to be me giving you the total for this week. Obviously how many days I have been driving, how much mileage I have done, and obviously this week's expenditure as well. I have implemented all of my vehicle insurance, finance, everything. So everything is there ready for people to see. Again, obviously I don't think it's going to be that much. I think it's going to be just over like £1,000 I make this week, give or take. Obviously it could be a lot better, but yeah, I'm quite happy with what I'm making, and then learning the business and business side of things. Obviously took on 2 drivers. I have had a lot of interest, so thank you for everyone who has messaged to basically say that you are interested in joining the app. Obviously I haven't got it back to a lot of people. I've just been doing my due diligence with the people that I have been talking to. Obviously I've spent the last couple of days getting to know them, showed them obviously my expectations, and basically said like, look, I am not just going to take on someone I don't know. I want, and again, it's a bit pushy, but I want to be able to say like yes and no to people. And yes, that sounds extremely weird, but I want the right people for my company, if that makes sense. And I am in the wrong place. So spin around. So yeah, I want the right people to join, which I believe obviously the 2 people that I've picked so far are currently the right people. One thing I didn't realise about the CX app, which I kind of should have, or I should have asked on prior, is obviously underneath it says that because I've paid for the fleet app, obviously if I want another driver app, you have to pay for it. Which, yep, I'm happy with that. That is completely understandable. But one thing I didn't know is that you have to pay the year up front, which I'm a little bit gutted about. Because obviously I'm charging people monthly on the app. So with me charging them monthly, it means that I've got a big initial cost. I think it's like 180 quid to get one app. So it's a bit nerve-wracking, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I've paid one off completely. So right, I'm gonna make this delivery, and then I shall get back to you if I've got another job. So see you in a bit. Well, good morning. It is now currently Sunday the 20th of October, so this video should be out today. As you can tell, I feel a little bit ropey, and that's because we went out yesterday for the match. Went out at 1 o'clock, and then I can't remember what time I got back. I'm not driving because I still don't feel right. I am sat in the car, but that is just so I can finish off the outro, and then I can go back home and then edit, or back into the house and edit. So how did this week go? Oh, sorry. So obviously we started on Saturday. We went from NE24 to AB42, and I quoted £350 for that on Saturday because I knew there wasn't going to be a return journey back. We got that, we cracked that job out. Sunday we've done a little bit of gopuff, and I mean like we've done like 18 quid, and then we're concentrating a little bit on our other business as well, which we're still making money from that. Monday didn't work, didn't spend any money. Tuesday didn't work, didn't spend any money. And then Wednesday had came. So we had booked a job on Tuesday for Wednesday through the Royal Mail. And this job was basically going to, is it Taunton, or like just a little bit up from Plymouth. And it was obviously from my area. Obviously, but because it was through Royal Mail, I can't quote on that work. They tell me what the price is. So my plan was on Wednesday to take it down, I'd stay out, and then get a job back up, which again, I'm happy to tramp out. I'm happy to stay in the van. That doesn't bother us. Travelled down there, and the customer wasn't in when I'd got there. Gutted. So I rang dispatch, and I said to dispatch, they're not in, there's no contact number, what do you want to do? Because the job was for the, it was like the DVLA or something, because it was for them, they didn't have any like delivery notes to what it was, so I couldn't leave it with a neighbour. And because it's from such a high-end place, obviously you can't just leave it, like it could be really important documents, blah blah blah. So obviously I couldn't leave it, and obviously the dispatcher said, are you staying here overnight? Now, my plan was to stay there overnight, and I think in this game you've got to at some point be clever. I knew if I said like, yeah, I'm staying there overnight, they would have added a little bit more money on, fair enough. But then maybe the chances of getting a job from Plymouth back on the CX or anywhere else might be a bit difficult. So obviously I just said, well, no, like I need to be back home. Again, I know we play the system, blah, 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 but I says, no, I need to be back home. He says, right, well, look, just bring it back. I says, well, I'm not coming back empty. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm bringing this all the way back down. I'm going to come back home with it. Like, what do you want to do? And he says, oh, well, we'll just have to pay you. I says, right, no bother. He says, so how much did we pay you on the way down? I says, it was 300. He says, right, no bother. So give us money, 300 quid to come back with it. So that one job, just driving there and back, was 600 quid. That, obviously, that morning I had done a city sprint job as well, and that was £67. So literally on Wednesday I made £667, 1 pence, which I'm absolutely buzzing with. And then Thursday we didn't do anything. I believe we didn't do anything. Yeah, I didn't do anything on Thursday because I was shattered. That was a very long drive, so I did take the day off to recoup. Friday came, I was still a bit tired, but I went on to gopuff. I done one job, and then I came home so we could concentrate on the other business. Again, so these figures that I'm telling, like, these don't include what I make from my other business as well. I might start including them if people are interested. So I mean, I don't mind doing that. I can start putting them in. So Friday, obviously, I done one job, and then one of our drivers done a job. Because obviously I take a percentage for them to do the work. I got £7 as well, so obviously I've added that on to my total. So my total for working, and this is what I want people to really bear in mind, okay? I worked Saturday, got home, and I worked Wednesday. So I never worked Sunday, really, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday or Friday on like the CX, on City Sprint. I never really worked them. So as a driving side of it, I worked 2 days out of the week. Yeah, I done gopuff, but I'd done like 1-2 deliveries and then stopped. So when I'm looking at this and I'm thinking that's not enough, blah 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 blah, it actually is, because I generally work 2 days. Like, imagine if I worked the full week, which I really want to get done soon. I really do want to get a full week out. But I made a grand total of £1,049.16, which to me is not bad at all. So my expenses, this is where it gets a little bit entertaining. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to minus them off, because I think that's easier. So I made a total of £755, and for everyone else out there, without taking everything else into account, I'm going to take obviously a percentage of my insurance and my van. So for my van is obviously £300 a month. I'll take that back, so £75 a week. So I'm going to minus £75 off that. My insurance is a £150. So again, I'm going to probably just take, I'm going to take 45 off. Yeah, about 40, 45. So minus 40. So profit after paying my insurance and paying my van is £640.33 for working 2 days. I am not going to complain. So on that note, because I'm hanging and I need to edit this and I need to get some food, I'm going to say goodbye and enjoy whatever I've got left of today. And I need to sort myself out, and then I need to get back to work. Sunday. Yeah. Right. I'll see you next week